Okay, hi everyone. We're the Fireside Lounge team. So our team is formed by April, Isabel, Jonathan, Aisha, Bruna, Inês. Nossa, tá. Okay. Inês gonna start with the next slide.
So I would just like to mention that we actually decided to leverage the fact that we are being recorded. So we'll be handing this video to the Fireside Lounge, and hopefully they'll be able to use it and get some benefits out of it. We also had an interview with them before we started this project, and a lot of our content and everything, our presentation is what we got from them directly. So now, what is Fireside Lounge? Fireside Lounge is a fun and friendly bar in Alameda, California. It's a really special little place that makes people who visit them feel very welcome, but at the same time entertained. They do live events, live music events, 5 nights a week, and also trivia nights, 1 night a week, and many other interesting theme nights like dancing classes, board games nights, and others. So they really offer a great atmosphere and unpretentious environment where they target pretty much anyone who would like to escape from everyday busy lives and just relax, have a drink or two. Now I'm going to talk a little about the timeline and how they started and purchased this bar. So I think this quote really sums up what the current owners, the 3 ladies, did when they purchased the bar. So it says, go to wherever dreamland you decide on, but go with passion hand in hand. You will never be tired on the way. So a little bit about history. They actually have a very long 72 years of history. The bar was opened in 1942 during the World War II when a lot of things were going on in America, but also in the world. And it was the time when President Roosevelt was speaking to the American people through the fireside chats. And that's how the bar actually got named. So it stayed open throughout these times, all the way to 2011, where these 3 wonderful ladies decided to make their crazy dream come true. They used to be managers at Starbucks, and they were just tired of their lives and working for other people, and they didn't know that much about actually running a business, especially not running a bar. So they got a nickname, 3 Sirens, and they actually still go by it. Their mission is to spread the excitement and knowledge about the best craft distilleries. One of them is missing here, sorry about that, but it's a great picture right there. And when we did an interview with them, they actually told us about some of their goals, and they're right here. Some of them is to increase the annual revenue in 1 year by 100%, as well as the value of their business if they ever decide to sell it. Also to develop and implement social media strategy. They're doing something about it, but they're not doing really well, and they're struggling with it. They want to increase employees' engagement because it doesn't make sense for them to invest that much money and time in just doing social media. And also just to build the awareness as a friendly neighborhood bar, and of course to have best quality craft brew and liquor in the big easy.
Well, we thought it would be interesting for you guys to meet these 3 wonderful ladies. And also, it's important, we're going to play a little bit of the interview that we did. And it's important for you guys to know that they're gonna be talking about what they expect on social media, what they're doing in social media. And also, it's important, like, if you want to turn into your business to a social business, you have to be social also. So that behavior must be changed in your person and also in our employees. They also have to be engaged in the social media. So that's what I want you guys to pay a little bit of attention. And meet those 3 ladies also.
Broader reach, I don't think that we really represent our brand on social media.
Sorry. Well, what they're saying here, so, since you already met them, what they're saying here is that they don't really do a lot of brands in their social media. They're so directly, like they use Facebook, and with the Facebook, they just post it on Twitter also. She's not a social media person. She usually uses only Facebook. She doesn't know how to use Twitter or anything else. And so and also their website, they cannot upload anything. So they're trying to redo their website all over again. And what do they expect from social media is exactly to make their brand more strategic and try to make the locals more engagement with the bar, because it's actually very interesting. And they do a lot of music, live songs, and everything. So.
All right, so I'm going to shift it back. So you all three have worked very hard for the last few years building your business, and you worked very hard actually building some social media base, and I think you have a good start. You have a good number of followers on Facebook, you have or likes on their Facebook page, and you've got a good number of followers on Twitter. Now it's time to use that to your advantage and to engage those users and really take it to the next level. So that key to that is going to be telling the story of your bar. So some of the main themes, I mean, if we're going to do social media, one of the hard things we know for small businesses especially is to come up with content. So what are we going to talk about in all these tweets and Facebook and post things on Instagram? What is it going to be about? How do we keep it flowing? That sort of thing. So we have some recommendations for you about how you can manage that. One of the things that is very important to the Fireside Lounge is music. 5 nights a week they have music there. They have open mic nights, they have bands, live bands on 4 nights a week. So this is an important aspect of your bar and of your community. So focusing on that and telling the story of the music is going to be really great content for you. Feature the interviews with bands, so interview these bands before they come along. Take that content in video or record it so that you can share video clips and you can blog with them. Add clips of these performances to your YouTube channel. And then post pictures of the performances on your Instagram account. Right now you have Facebook and Twitter, but you don't have an Instagram account, which is something that we're recommending that you put together. So, so music, an important part of that content. The other piece that's important to you is trivia. So you have a trivia night once a week, and that is a very popular event. So lots of people come to the bar and they participate in the trivia night. So we're suggesting that you take that to the next level and you put something on that and start gauging people online around trivia. You've got lots of good content there with music and some other things we'll talk about, but post some trivia questions or create an online version of your trivia night that you can play and engage with people online. Pick fun and lighthearted questions that will emphasize the atmosphere of the bar, the fun and lighthearted nature of your establishment. And then customers can win incentives. So you can set some things up like that. For example, we have a sample tweet over here. Name the child actress and Alamedan who became an ambassador. Anybody know the answer?
Shirley Temple.
Shirley Temple. Yeah, that's right. So you could create some discounts for people. So the first person who replies perhaps gets a 50% discount. And you can also create some content for the fans of your bands that are performing there. In your interviews, you can collect some insider information and tips that maybe the general public doesn't know, and then you can tweet about those and ask questions of your customers in that way as well. One of the other themes for your content is going to be your libations. This is something that's very important to this bar. Craft quality drinks, quality liquors, quality beers, quality juices. They squeeze all their fruits from fresh right there in the bar. And you have a lot of knowledge about this. This is an area you have a lot of expertise in. So let's show that and share that with the world. By using your blog, so you should blog weekly about some aspect of your libations. And record your tastings. So they hold tastings on a regular basis. You guys can videotape those. Similar to this is a video clip of Bitsy explaining how gin works and how bees pollinate and change the flavor of the liquor. I mean, it's quite remarkable. I didn't know that much about gin before I saw that. So you can engage them around that, though, by sharing expertise, especially people who are fans of particular kinds of liquor, like gin or whatnot. Also, we're suggesting that you engage your users by creating some polls on Facebook. So you could put together a new recipe for a drink, and then you could have a vote to name it on your Facebook page. That would be fun. One of the other themes, and probably one of the other themes is history. So there's a lot of history. We saw that in 1942. Through now, there's a lot of things that happen. There's a naval base in Alameda. There's a lot of changes that occurred over there. So a lot about interesting historic facts. A sample poll that we propose might be, what was the topic of the FDR's first Fireside chat? And also to create a poll so that they can choose from those things. Also, you could create events out of special holidays. Like I'm suggesting that because Alameda was a naval base and has a large military community, that you do something special on veterans. Create something where you give a discount to veterans if they come in on that day. And the last piece is engaging in real time. So there's lots of live. Right now they're broadcasting the Stanley Cup games at the bar because Fitzy is a huge New York Rangers fan. And but this is a neat way to engage people. So while this event is playing, while the band is performing, you could be tweeting and engaging people, letting them know what a great time is happening, taking pictures and posting them on Instagram. It's a great way to get people engaged.
16.
16?
Number they won.
Is it really? Right on. Wow, that's a lot. All right. So now we have some content themes and the stories that you're going to tell about it. But I mean, really, how do you organize that content? So that's the next section of what we're going to talk to you about, is how you organize it. So you can see we built this chart here where we can say, here's the platforms: Facebook, Twitter, blog, YouTube, and Instagram. And then here's your content themes up here. So basically, those numbers up at the top are a way to give you a rough estimate of how much of your content should be generated in each of those categories. And then the gray boxes represent the ones for the channels that you would use for each of the content themes. So next we're going to tell you, but how do you organize all that stuff and who does it?
Well, we already have the content, and we already know more or less what are we going to say. So what is the next step? Well, we're going to build a monthly calendar. We're going to choose a month theme, which is going to be, like, for example, this month is going to be summer. And then we're going to go through each platform. What are we going to do? Reasons for this. Our employees are going to be working on this too. So they are really good at getting you drunk, giving you drinks, but they actually don't know. They don't have time and to keep posting and do things. So this basically simplifies their job, and they would save time, and it will save some complications. For example, complications that we've seen, that they're posting on Facebook and Twitter the same thing. So by doing this, they will already know, like, they will save that problem. Other reason that we want that we're doing this, well, wait, what? Oh yeah, we want to train our customers. We want them to know that Mondays are the days that we're posting an interesting thing on blog. We want them to know that on Saturday they can see what they want, they can see again what they watch on Friday on live. So, you know, we want to train them, and then they know what is going on by a routine. And basically this. We'll have the full calendar, but it's pretty boring. So.
So our team is organized a little bit differently than most because this is a small business. It's a little bit more casual. We decided that the two jobs that would be exclusive to one person each would be the Chief Content Officer and the Managing Editor. Chief Content Officer would be in charge of deciding on a vision, approving monthly content calendars, and running analytics. And the Managing Editor would create content calendars and manage websites and Facebook. And for the other three jobs, they would each be managed by one of the owners and then one of the employees. So for contributors, contributors would create content for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram posts, and write weekly blog posts. And the community manager would engage in real-time conversations with customers and distribute incentives. And the administrator would be in charge of quality control of platforms, managing YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So we also decided that there should be 3 tenets of our social media policy. They're all centered around the employees, essentially. First and foremost, empowerment. The employees will be in charge. They'll need to feel like they're the decision makers, and there will be real-time engagement with customers. The second part is training. It's up to the owners to train the employees so that there's a cohesive voice for the brand narrative and that everything flows together properly. And in terms of training, the owners will need to research and show effective and non-effective social media use, and they would lead by example, and they would create formal social media policy and make the vision and goals very clear. And finally, there would be rewards: dinner, movie tickets, bonuses, days off, so that employees know that they're appreciated.
Traveling the distance, social to sales. I guess the most important question that any company has is that social media is important. We realize that, but how do we make sure that we actually make something substantiated out of it? How do we make sure that it makes sense to us from a sales perspective? So here we're going to talk about it from 2 perspectives. One is qualitative and one is quantitative, and I'm going to go over the qualitative. Coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, working together is success, and I guess that's what is being promoted with your company as well, as to work as a team and to make sure that the efforts that are being taken is not in vain. 4 steps to social media success: attract, absorb, activate, and analyze. How do you do that? First, you attract your customers. You already have a solid fan base. How do you make sure that you get them into your pub? How do you make sure that you get them to the events? Start attracting them. Start posting pictures. Start getting more awareness about your events. And then community. Community could be anything. Obviously, it's not financially feasible to have a $100,000 charity event or something, but you could be just advertising about social responsibility. You don't encourage drunk drivers. Simple as that. Have some sort of a a collaboration with Uber, making sure that you have cabs in the night, and then advertising it, saying that we are socially responsible pub. We make sure that you guys are safe. Your safety is my responsibility. Something as simple as that. Make sure that you have a socially conscious brand sort of an image, and it goes a long way in overall image of the restaurant or the pub. Then activate. How do you activate? You have contests. You have to lure the people who are sitting with their computers into your store, into your pub. How do you do that? Have lucrative deals. Make sure that it is something to die for. Otherwise, they're not going to come in. And then make sure that whatever you're doing, you're analyzing each and every step of it. How is it working? If I'm taking a step, how do I make sure that it's actually working? So analyzing each and everything is extremely important, and it has to be a continuous process. You cannot do an effort for 6 months and then at the end of it come and try to monitor. It has to be a continuous process. New rules of business. The first thing, the good thing that you guys have done is that you understand the importance of social media. You have embraced it, which is awesome. You're understanding the new rules of business. How do you make sure that you stay on top of it? So from selling, you are starting to connect with your audience, your fans, the loyal followings. Start connecting with these people. Instead of, you cannot have sort of campaigns like Coke does. It's not feasible. Start having small, intimate campaigns, short campaigns, videos that are more relevant to your community, to your area. Start posting them on YouTube, pictures on Instagram. These things would go a long way in making a brand. And what are you promoting ultimately? Just imagine you have a huge hiking group in your locality. You make sure, and who doesn't love a chilled, good quality beer after a good hike? So make sure that you start connecting with those guys. Make sure you get them. Those are your audience, and maybe they don't even know that such a place exists. So, start connecting with these people. Transparency to your customers. Start using these social media platforms not just as a platform for showing your presence, but also to be like a customer service portal. Handle complaints. Don't ignore them. 3 steps: reach, engagement, conversion. Start reaching your audience using all of these platforms. Start engaging with these guys. Answer. Make sure that the posts are relevant, the content is relevant, and start answering them. And conversion. Keep a track on how many actual leads or how many customers did you get through any of these efforts. way moving forward. Redesign your website, keyword search, blog updates, organic searches, constant connect, and link to Google Analytics.
And to tie this all together, we're going to use zero appropriate technology to do this. This is a really great quote out there. No secrets to success. It's the result of preparation and work and learning from failure. And this is exactly why Fireside allows to be successful, they expand, because they're going to put it in this. Part of that is having the right tools. So part of our evaluation was looking at the wide spectrum of opportunities and different options we had available. And to help put it on this list, we set out some criteria. So this would really help make sure that we had the right tool for the job. From there, we wanted to make sure that we had something that was intuitive and easy to use. Obviously, it needed to be designed for small businesses, be affordable, doesn't make sense financially, to be prohibitive. There's something that's really great with multi-user support, so we can make sure that the creative content manager can make sure that no one's sending out inappropriate posts or anything that's going to misrepresent the company. This is really important as well, the scheduling and optimization with built-in functionality that allows the post to be sent out at the appropriate time to get the maximum reach. It's also got to be mobile and desktop friendly because people communicate across multiple devices. And at the end of the day, tying everything in together from a quantitative standpoint requires having the analytics tracking function. So with these criteria in mind, it's actually a company called Buffer, which has an application buffer for business that's actually really well regarded. And unfortunately, these pictures are a little bit small, but they actually speak to the previous points in which we had for our criteria. But yes, for $50 a month, you can support the company, provides all those features for scheduling, optimization, multi-user support, publishing, and analytics. And these are actually the metrics that we'll be using to have as a benchmark to judge versus our success. So taking that qualitative and comparing it to the actual quantitative to find out how we're actually doing.
Good job, guys.